Chosen one, pause everything. Don't scroll. Don't let this play in the background. Don't let anyone else overhear. This message is not for your friends, your family, or anyone sitting next to you. This is for you, and only you. If there's noise around you, silence it. If you're multitasking, stop. If your mind is racing, let it rest. God has just interrupted your day, your routine, your entire timeline, because what He's about to say cannot be received in pieces. This is not background noise. This is a divine download, and it requires your full, undivided attention. If you can't give that right now, pause this video and come back when you can. Because what's about to be revealed is so personal, so precisely timed, so specifically assigned to you that letting anyone else into this moment would dilute its power. This is a message that only makes sense to the one it was sent for. Everyone else would just hear words. But you're about to hear confirmation. You've been feeling isolated, haven't you? Not just alone, but like you're standing in a crowded room and still feel invisible. Like you're present in body, but your spirit is somewhere else. You've wondered if you're pushing people away, if you're becoming antisocial, if you're just off. But what if you're not? What if what you're experiencing isn't isolation, but insulation? What if God has wrapped you in a spiritual cocoon, not to punish you, but to protect you? He's been pulling you away from noise, drama, opinions, and even well-meaning voices that would interfere with what He's doing inside you right now. Because you are in formation. You are being reshaped, recalibrated, upgraded at a level so deep it cannot happen in public. It cannot happen in conversation. It cannot happen while you're trying to explain yourself to people who wouldn't understand even if you had the words. So God removed the audience. He cleared the room. He silenced the voices, not to punish you with loneliness, but to protect you during transition. Now, let me tell you why this protection was necessary. Someone has been testing you. Maybe more than one person. Not obviously, not aggressively, but subtly. They've been poking at old wounds, bringing up topics they know trigger you, making comments that seem harmless but leave you unsettled. And the worst part? You can't even call it out, because on the surface, it looks fine. But your spirit knows. Your discernment picks up what your logic can't prove. You've been feeling crazy for being bothered by things that technically weren't attacks, but they were. Just because someone smiles while they stab doesn't mean the knife isn't real. Just because someone uses soft words doesn't mean the intention isn't sharp. God saw it. God felt it. God said, enough. That's why He pulled you here. That's why He separated you. That's why He's telling you to stay quiet just a little longer. Because if you respond now, if you defend now, if you explain now, you'll give access to people who no longer have clearance to your next level. Not everyone who had access to your last season gets access to your next one. Not everyone who knew the old you gets to know the new you. Not everyone who walked with you through the valley gets to walk with you to the mountain. That's not cruel. That's not cold. That's wisdom. That's boundary. That's protection. Because the version of you that God is unveiling cannot coexist with people who are still trying to relate to the version He already buried. You've noticed it, haven't you? Your tolerance for certain things has disappeared. Conversations that used to be fine now feel draining. People you used to enjoy now feel exhausting. Environments you used to navigate easily now feel suffocating. Drama that used to pull you in now repels you instantly. You've wondered if you're being too sensitive, too harsh, too judgmental. But what if you're not? What if your spirit has simply graduated to a frequency where dysfunction, fakeness, and chaos no longer resonate? God is teaching you a new language. The language of discernment. The language of silence. The language of boundaries without explanation. The language of walking away without closure. The language of trusting what you feel even when you can't prove what you know. And this language can't be learned in noise. It can't be learned in crowds. It can't be learned while defending yourself to people who question your growth. It has to be learned alone, in stillness, in separation, in the quiet space between who you were and who you are becoming. That's where you are right now. In the gap, the in-between, the transition zone. It's uncomfortable because nothing is clear yet. You're not who you used to be, but you're not fully who you're becoming either. You're shedding old skin, but the new skin hasn't fully formed. You're leaving familiar territory, but you haven't arrived at the new land yet. This space feels vulnerable, exposed, uncertain, but it's also sacred. It's also necessary. It's also where transformation happens. The caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly by staying comfortable. It becomes a butterfly by surrendering to a process that looks like death but leads to flight. Let me tell you what the enemy has been trying to do. He knows you're in transition. He knows you're being shifted. He knows God is repositioning you for something bigger, something deeper, something that will impact more people than your last season did. And he can't stop what God already ordained. He can't cancel what God already decreed. He can't block what God already released. But what he can do is distract you, provoke you, drain you, confuse you, get you to react emotionally instead of respond strategically, get you to defend yourself instead of trust God's defense, get you to explain yourself instead of let your life be the explanation. So he's been sending test after test, conversation after conversation, situation after situation, all designed to pull you out of stillness and back into reaction. All designed to make you prove yourself instead of rest in God's approval. All designed to get you talking when God told you to be quiet. And if he can get you to break your silence prematurely, if he can get you to step out of alignment even for a moment, he delays what is coming. He doesn't cancel it, but he delays it. And delay is his only weapon right now. That's why God is being so firm with you about staying quiet. That's why he keeps redirecting you back to stillness every time you feel the urge to speak. That's why he is protecting your peace so aggressively. Because your silence right now is not weakness. Your silence is warfare. Every day you don't react is a day the enemy's plan fails. Every conversation you don't engage is a trap you don't fall into. Every explanation you don't give is energy you don't waste. Your stillness is not passive. Your stillness is powerful. Your stillness is obedience, and obedience always, always, always positions you for breakthrough. Now, let me address the guilt you've been feeling. You feel guilty for pulling away from people. You feel guilty for not being as available as you used to be. You feel guilty for not explaining why you have changed. You feel guilty for not defending yourself when people misunderstand you. You feel guilty for protecting your energy when that means disappointing people who expect access to you. And that guilt sits heavy on your chest. It makes you question whether you are being selfish, cold, distant, or unkind. But chosen one, listen to me. Boundaries are not betrayal. Distance is not rejection. Silence is not cruelty. Protection is not punishment. And you are not responsible for managing other people's feelings about your obedience to God. You are not responsible for making people comfortable with your growth. You are not responsible for staying small so others feel secure. You are not responsible for explaining spiritual shifts to people who are still living in the flesh. Your responsibility is to God first. Your responsibility is to your assignment. Your responsibility is to protect what God is building in you, even if that means disappointing people who expected you to stay the same. Let me tell you what is about to happen soon. Very soon, the fog is going to lift. The confusion is going to clear. The silence is going to break, and when it does, everything that has been hidden is going to be revealed. God is about to expose motives you couldn't see, intentions you couldn't prove, resistance you couldn't name, jealousy that wore a smile, manipulation that spoke softly, control that acted concerned. All of it is about to come to light, not because you forced it, not because you confronted it, not because you defended yourself, but because God saw it. And God is handling it. And when that exposure happens, you are going to understand why he told you to stay quiet. You are going to see why he protected you from speaking too soon. You are going to realize that if you had defended yourself, if you had explained yourself, if you had confronted people, you would have given them ammunition to twist your words, question your motives, and delay your breakthrough. But because you stayed silent, because you stayed still, because you stayed aligned, God gets to defend you. And when God defends you, no one can argue. No one can manipulate. No one can twist. The truth just is. And everyone sees it. But here is what you need to understand. This exposure is not for revenge. It is for clarity. It is not to hurt people. It is to free you. It is not to embarrass anyone. It is to establish boundaries. Because once the truth is out, once motives are clear, once intentions are exposed, you will know exactly who belongs in your next season and who doesn't. You will know exactly what relationships to invest in and which ones to release. You will know exactly what voices to listen to and which ones to ignore. And that clarity, that discernment, that is the gift God is giving you through this process. So right now, today, your job is simple. Stay still. Stay quiet. Stay aligned. Don't defend. Don't explain. Don't react. Don't force. Don't rush. Just trust. Trust that God sees what you see. Trust that God knows what you know. Trust that God feels what you feel. Trust that He is already working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see. Trust that His timing is perfect even when it feels slow. Trust that His silence is preparation, not absence. Trust that His protection is active, not passive. And while you are waiting, while you are staying still, let me tell you what else is happening. God is strengthening you. He is deepening your roots, so when the blessing comes, you can carry it. He is expanding your capacity, so when the door opens, you can walk through it. He is sharpening your discernment, so when the enemy tries again, you will see him coming. He is fortifying your boundaries, so when people test you, you will not waver. He is establishing your identity, so when criticism comes, it will not shake you. He is securing your peace, so when chaos surrounds you, it will not enter you. This season of silence is not empty. It is full. It is full of preparation. It is full of transformation. It is full of divine activity that is happening beneath the surface. You cannot see it yet. You cannot feel it yet. But it is happening. And one day, very soon, you are going to step into the fullness of what God prepared. And you are going to look back at this quiet season and thank Him. You are going to see that what felt like isolation was actually incubation. What felt like delay was actually development. What felt like silence was actually strategy. Chosen one, before I finish, I need to tell you one more thing. The version of you that emerges from this season is going to be unrecognizable. Not to God, because He has always known who you really are, but to people, to yourself, to the enemy. You are going to walk with a confidence that doesn't need validation. You are going to speak with an authority that doesn't need permission. You are going to move with a clarity that doesn't need explanation. You are going to love with a security that doesn't need reciprocation. You are going to serve with a purpose that doesn't need recognition. And people are going to wonder what happened to you. They are going to ask what changed, and you will not even know how to explain it, because it happened in the secret place, in the quiet, in the alone moments with God that nobody saw. That is the power of this season. That is the purpose of this isolation. That is why God said to watch this alone. Because what He is doing in you right now is too sacred to be explained, too personal to be shared, too powerful to be rushed. So stay here, stay still, stay surrendered, and trust that when the time is right, when the preparation is complete, when the formation is finished, God is going to release you. And when He does, nothing and no one will be able to stop what He started. If this message felt like it intercepted your exact moment, if it felt like God just spoke directly into your situation, don't just listen and leave. Respond. Type Amen in the comments. Not as a ritual, but as a declaration that you heard Him. And you are choosing to trust His timing over your emotions. You are choosing His silence over your need to speak. You are choosing His process over your desire for comfort. That one word, Amen, it shifts something in the spirit. It is your agreement with heaven. And when you agree with heaven, heaven moves on your behalf. If this message brought clarity to confusion, if it brought peace to chaos, if it brought confirmation to what you have been feeling but couldn't name, do something for me. Hit that like button. I know it seems small, but it helps this message reach other people who are in the same season you are in, other people who feel isolated, other people who have been told to stay quiet, other people who need to know that their silence is not weakness, it is obedience. Your like could be what helps this message find them at their exact moment of need. And one more thing, if someone came to mind while you were listening, someone who has been pulled away from everyone, someone who has been unusually quiet, someone who has been struggling to explain what they are going through. Share this with them. Text it, email it, send it however you need to, because this might be the confirmation they have been praying for. This might be the message that helps them understand that their isolation isn't punishment. It is preparation. Chosen one, remember this. Your silence is not weakness. It is wisdom. Your stillness is not delay. It is strategy. Your separation is not punishment. It is protection. Stay close to God. Stay quiet before people. Stay aligned with purpose, because what is coming next requires the version of you that is being formed in the silence. And that version, that is the one the world has been waiting for.